His name was Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer. To the world, he was a quiet factory worker, an unremarkable face in the city of Milwaukee. But behind the locked door of apartment 213, he was the architect of a private, unimaginable hell, a monster who stalked the shadows of the Midwest for over a decade. Between 1978 and 1991, Dahmer murdered and dismembered 17 men and boys. His crimes were not merely acts of violence. They were meticulous, ritualistic attempts to exercise absolute control over life and death. The chilling record of his depravity includes necrophilia, cannibalism, and the permanent preservation of body parts. The First Descent, 1978. The first act of lethal violence occurred shortly after his high school graduation in 1978. Dahmer was alone in his childhood home when he encountered 18-year-old hitchhiker Stephen Hicks. Hicks simply wanted a ride. Dahmer wanted a victim. After hours of drinking, when Hicks attempted to leave, he struck Hicks from behind with a dumbbell, then strangled him. He then stripped the clothes from Hicks's body before exploring his chest with his hands, then masturbating as he stood above the corpse. The immediate response was not panic, but a chilling composure. Dahmer spent the next day dissecting the body, dissolving the remains in acid, and crushing the bones with a sledgehammer to scatter in the surrounding woodland.
The systematic horror. For nearly a decade, Dahmer struggled with his escalating desires. After a brief, non-fatal murder attempt in 1987, the dam finally broke with the killing of Stephen Tuomi in a hotel room. Dahmer would later claim he awoke next to Tuomi with no memory of the killing, only bruised hands and a chilling realization: he was unable to stop. For 2 weeks following Tuomi's killing, Dahmer retained Tuomi's head wrapped in a blanket. After 2 weeks, Dahmer boiled the head in a mixture of Soilax, an alkali-based industrial detergent, and bleach in an effort to retain the skull, which he then used as stimulus for masturbation. The escalation of his crimes forced him out of his grandmother's home, leading him to 924 North 25th Street in May 1990. This small apartment became his final terrifying stage. Here, the murders became systematic. He would lure victims like Anthony Sears and Edward Smith with promises of money, then drug and strangle them. Dahmer's pathology evolved into an obsession with retaining his victims. He began taking Polaroid photographs of the bodies at various stages of dismemberment to remember their physical beauty. He attempted to chemically treat and preserve his victims' skeletons, a perverse effort to keep them with him forever. He confessed that if he couldn't keep them whole, he would at least keep their skulls and bones. The stench in the apartment became unbearable, driving complaints from his neighbors, a warning sign tragically ignored.
The Night of Reckoning. Dahmer's reign ended on the night of July 22, 1991, with a man named Tracy Edwards. Edwards, lured to the apartment, managed to fight back after being shackled. In a desperate, split-second decision, he broke free and fled into the street, leading 2 responding Milwaukee police officers back to apartment 213. Inside, the officers discovered the proof of an unimaginable nightmare: a small, chilling inventory of horror, a human head in the refrigerator, a skull in a filing cabinet, torsos in a barrel, and the graphic Polaroids, the silent, documented evidence of 17 monstrous acts. Jeffrey Dahmer was arrested and confessed to all 17 murders. Found legally sane at trial, he was sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms in Wisconsin, with an additional life term for his first murder in Ohio, totaling 941 years. His story ended not in prison solitude, but in a final brutal act of violence. On November 28, 1994, the man known as the Milwaukee Monster was beaten to death by a fellow inmate. Dahmer's life and death remain a stark, unsettling reminder of the profound darkness that can reside within a single human soul.